Hi. So I'm trying a new recipe that is actually in our Modes ebook. Now, the Modes ebook is accessible to people hosting in July and August. Pretty sure it's in August as well. Anyway, I'll check that, but I'm pretty sure it is until the end of August, because we have a Modes demo, which you don't have to have the Modes demo. So the Modes demo is more of a brunch vibe. If you want a dinner vibe, we do a dinner thing. But one of the options of host rewards, the limited time host option, is the blade cover peeler, which I forgot to get at. Anyway, that is this. So if you haven't got one of these are fantastic when it comes to slow cooking, to sous vide, and obviously peeling your potatoes or your garlic or your basically rounded root vegetables. I wouldn't do carrots because I think they're going to end up rounded. You're going to have a bit of wastage there, but exceptional for potatoes. 4 minutes, beautiful peeled potatoes. And what I love it for too is garlic. So if you've got a couple of heads of garlic, you pull off, so just split it up. So you've got all the individual, can't even think what they're called, cloves. And you put the blade cover in. So I'll show you how it works. If you haven't used it before, it literally just sits over the blade, just like that. So as I'm talking about the garlic, you break up the garlic, individual cloves in there. They've still got all their, papery skin on them. You cover them with water, and you put them on for a couple of minutes on the peeler mode on the TM6. So, it's fantastic for that. Slow cooking. There is the most amazing slow cooked chili pineapple recipe on Cookie2, which I would thoroughly recommend. And plenty of other slow cooking things on there. Also sous vide. Now, sous vide isn't something that I've done a lot of, but I have done the teriyaki chicken, and that was really delicious. It's teriyaki chicken thighs. I have done a mousse with some sous vide strawberries, and I have done salmon. Now, my husband doesn't like the salmon. It's a personal preference as to texture. It is cooked, but it's got that sort of rare, if you can get rare salmon, that sort of texture. Anyway, that is one of the host rewards, and along with the Modes ebook. So what the recipe I'm going to make now is the biryani style rice, and that actually uses 3 modes. Now, I have actually pre-done the hard-boiled eggs, but I'll show you how you can do that in here. First of all, let's go to the TM6. All right, so we've got the screen here. So just actually a quick recap for those who may or may not have a TM6, and recap on the modes. So we scroll across and we have a whole lot of different modes on here. Top left is the scales. Now, they may be in different spots. If you've got a TM6 and you think, hang on, mine isn't in the same spot as that, don't worry. You can actually edit with these 3 dots up here. You can edit the screen and you can make the screen how you like it, okay? So I've got the scales here. I've got dough mode, so that's your kneading function. Turbo, super fast, cleans your blades for you. The pre-clean mode. If you haven't seen the pre-clean mode, it's basically a litre of water, or up to a litre of water, a little bit of dishwashing, literally a drop, or I usually just do it without. If you're using the browning mode, you must use white vinegar though. And then you just select the clean you want, just turn it on. Fantastic, love it. Automatic blend, an egg boiler. This is the one I really wanted to show you. So with the egg boiler, again, you can put up to 6 eggs directly into the bowl of the Thermomix. You cover with up to a litre of water. So in this, I've got a little information up the top here, and that tells me. So I'm putting them straight in, water up to the 1 litre mark, and then I decide how I want them cooked. So for this recipe, this is in the recipe, but it's the last bit of the recipe, and I just think it's a pretty good idea, if you can, to pre-cook your hard-boiled eggs. I did them last night. But you just turn it on, and there you go, you get your hard-boiled eggs. Other modes, kettle mode, fantastic when you're doing poached eggs with the blade cover. Warm-up mode, I've been using this a bit recently with some soup. So make your soup, pop your soup in there. I turn it up to about 75 or 80 degrees and then turn this on. If it's a chunky soup, I would just put it on stir, but it does go up to speed 2. And if you're impatient like me and you want your soup to warm up quickly, and it's a smooth soup, put it on speed 2. We've got Thicken Mode. That's for your custards, your bechamels, all that sort of stuff. So a bechamel sauce in the Thermomix, you know how when you're doing that on the stove top, you've got to melt your butter, you've got to make the roux by stirring in your flour, and then you've got to slowly add the milk. With this, chuck it all in, and it just makes it just so much easier. Rice cooker mode, which is going to be used in the recipe tonight. Fermentation for yogurt, slow cook, sous vide, and a peeler. So they're all the different modes. But I have saved the recipe into my week. Here we go. Biryani style rice. So we're going to just quickly, I'll show you. This is all the detail of the recipe. And when I scroll down here, actually the very last thing it asks you to do is, or second to last, is cook your eggs. So I have done them in advance. If you also want to look down here, you have calorific content, protein, carbs, all that sort of stuff as well. All right. Whilst just to finish off on the eggs, there's been a little bit of discussion about peeling eggs, hard-boiled eggs, and how sometimes it can be a little bit tricky. And I agree. Sometimes they work really easy to peel. Other times it's a disaster and half the egg comes off. So I was having a bit of a look online. On Facebook, there was a bit of a thread about that. And there are a couple of things it said. One is the older your eggs, the bigger the air pocket in the egg. So when you peel them off, sometimes there's a bit of a hole at one end. The older the egg, then the bigger that air pocket, and actually makes it easier to peel. The other thing is someone said to pop a big teaspoon of bicarb soda in when you're cooking them. I haven't tried it, but they said that makes it easier to peel the eggs. I haven't tried it, as I said, but you never know. All right, let's move on. All right, so cooking. I've actually only got, it says 3 garlic cloves. I've only got 2, but they're pretty big garlic cloves, so I think that's all right. And a 2 centimetre piece of ginger cut into rounds. Popping my lid on. And it's going to chop for 5 seconds. I just have to turn it to speed 7. Now, I thought I had a small bowl. I do have a small bowl for that. There we go. There is the garlic and the ginger beautifully chopped up there, nice and finely. And I am going to pop it into this bowl here. I absolutely love ginger. The other thing I've been making actually quite regularly at the moment is the immune boosting juice. We know how much lovely COVID there is out there. Anything to support the immune system, I say. And lots of ginger in my immune boosting juice. So all I was doing there was pushing everything to the bottom and then going in a clockwise direction. Clockwise direction means that you don't hit the sharp side of the blades. All right, so I've got that in the small bowl there. Put that aside. 20 grams of oil of choice. I am using olive oil just because it's already melted. You could use ghee. If you wanted to, you could use coconut oil, whatever takes your fancy, really. Probably could have used peanut oil. That might have been quite nice too. There we go. Okay. Oil. 1 brown onion cut into wedges. So I have cut it to come apart a little bit. I did prepare this last night. But there we go. Wedges going in. Now, it says without the measuring cup. So I'm going to take the measuring cup out. It's going to cook for 1 minute 30, 120 degrees, speed stir. Okay. So whilst it's doing that, I'll tell you a little bit about our modes demo. So it is a brunch style. So as I said, if brunch is your thing, absolutely. So it includes bacon and cheese scones, which are to die for. And they can be gluten-free. I've used gluten-free flour and they work fantastic. So that's one thing. A salsa, like a really quick tomato salsa. Or you can do one with celery leaves in it. It has hollandaise sauce. It's a hollandaise sauce and poached eggs using the blade cover. So that's definitely an option. And then there is a green smoothie. So and what that's showing is we've got the dough mode with the scones, sorry, and also pretty sure high heat with the bacon, because it's bacon and cheese. So so that's 2 modes in that. Obviously got the automatic blend with the smoothie. We've got the thicken mode with the hollandaise. We've got, I think it's turbo in the salsa. And we use the kettle mode in with the blade cover for the poached eggs. So that's 5 or 6 different modes with 6 different recipes. All right, this smells amazing. Oh, chicken! I'm gonna pull my chicken out, and I didn't pull it out. Hold on. That one. 3 containers of chicken in the fridge. The reason being that plastic-free July, I've been taking my own containers to the butcher, and 3 containers of chicken. But this is the one I had actually prepped. All right, so here we go. Tear my scales. 250 grams of chicken thigh fillets or skinless chicken breast fillets cut into 3 centimetre cubes. So I'm adding that in on top of the onion and the oil. Okay. A little bit over. A little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. Ensure the chicken is distributed in the mixing bowl. Yeah, so I've just made sure it's just around like that. Then I'm going to place the splash guard on top. So I have my lid. And then this is the splash guard rather than the measuring cup. So no measuring cup, splash guard on, click done. We've got 5 minutes, and this symbol means it's going to use the high heat. So we're going to get a really nice sizzle. Okay. Now, in that 5 minutes, just move away a little bit. I want to show you a couple of other high heat recipes. So I'm going to share my screen, come into Cookie Dough, and all I'm going to do is just pop high heat into here. Okay. And here we've got a few basics, but you see we've got 340 recipes across Australia, United States and United Kingdom in English. So we've got some really basic recipes. So the great thing about this is that when you're making your own recipe, if you want to use the high heat, you could click into one of these recipes and then go back into the other recipe. Okay, so we've got the mushrooms. Oh, I think you can hear that. I don't know if you can hear, but it's okay. So those are some of the basics. Okay, mirepoix, the onions. And I actually did this. We had an Easy Essentials class last week, and then we had Christmas in July on Saturday night. And I did the sauteed onions in the class. I kept them, and then I used them in the gravy. And oh my goodness, it was amazing.
All right, so there's a whole lot of things there. They're all real basic ones. Some of those don't have high heat, but the first ones do have high heat. But I'm going to show you, I did a wonderful recipe last Friday night at a demo, and it was this. And the meat was sensational. So basically, you make up the spice mix. It's just literally putting all those spices into a jar and giving it a bit of a stir. You make tzatziki, and then we have the gyros, I think you pronounce it gyros. We did chicken, but basically you could do whatever you like. And it was really, really good. It was an absolute wow for the guests there. They loved it. So that's one you can do with high heat. Also go into my recipes here, because there are collections, and I've got a saved collection of high heat recipes. Where are we? Cooking with high temperature. So here's some pasta with fennel, tomato sauce, caramelized onion and goat's cheese tart. There's the gyros. That is a sensational salad, and it only takes like 15 minutes or something. Oh, it says 35 minutes. It doesn't take that long. Basically, yeah. I'm thinking 15. It might have been because I probably prepped it beforehand, but it wasn't that long. Curry pork with noodles. This is also amazing, the sticky chili beef. So there's quite a few. That's the high heat on the savoury, from the savoury point of view. We also have high heat. Oh my goodness, I wish you could smell this. Sugar stages. So these are some of the things you can make: caramel, fudge, lollies, you know, a nut brittle, a parfait, popcorn. We make honeycomb using the high heat, and the high heat up to 160 degrees. So that's really, let me go back into here. We're going to explore, see if we've got anything else on sugar stages. Whoops, sugar stages. And I don't know if you know this, but you can come in here and you can actually go back into collections, and it'll tell us. We've got this is another collection. That was the previous one, was what we saw before. Caramel eclairs, ganache tarts, pecan toffee. That's amazing. Caramel brownies, truffle cake. Oh my goodness. And out of that, we'll go back into recipes. Let's put honeycomb in there. That is an amazing thing to make. If you've got kids, it's a really incredible thing to watch as the honeycomb is made. It rises up in the bowl, and it's quite incredible. So there you go, plenty of high heat. That's what we're using at the moment, cooking the chicken. I'm just going to see how much longer it's got to go. Oh, 23 seconds. So we'll stop sharing and come back over to the Thermomix. 10 seconds, countdown. She was, no, I'll wait for it to just do that because we're almost there. Smells incredible. Scrape down the side of the mixing bowl with the spatula. I'm just going to actually scrape the bottom, because you find there's a lot of caramelization on the bottom of the bowl, which is really a fancy word for a little bit of burning, but that's actually where you're going to get the flavour. So if you scrape the bottom and scrape some of that off, so it goes into the recipe, that's a good thing. But we are also going to put water in here, so that water. Right, 2 tomatoes. Approximately 300 grams. I haven't weighed these. I've just chopped them up. It's 2 tomatoes. Well, that's a bit under. Okay. 20 grams of tomato paste. So I've got my tomato paste here. There we go. Grams. Then on this plate, I have a whole lot of spices that are going in. All right, so I've got the chili. There's only a little bit of that because this is not Kashmiri chili. It's a really hot chili that my husband bought at some point. The turmeric, the cumin, the coriander, the pepper, and the salt. Now, turmeric is also a really good immune boosting ingredient. But what you do need to remember is that when you're using turmeric, or turmeric, as I think the Indians call it, you need to have black pepper with it too. We don't need to, but if you want to get more benefit out of it, it's the black pepper that actually works with the helps the curcumin be absorbed into your body, and that's the active part of the turmeric. All right, so all those are going in. Reserve chopped ginger and garlic, so that was what I put out into this little bowl here. Okay, and I'm going to pop it on without the measure for 2 minutes 30. Now it's on reverse, okay, because it doesn't want to chop anything. So I'm just, and it's on very low speed, just speed stir. Okay. Now, one of the girls in the team made this last night, and she did double the chicken, but she also then doubled the cooking time of the chicken. So if you feel like 250 grams isn't enough for your family, then absolutely add a bit more, but just be mindful that you need to cook it for a bit longer. Okay, let's go back into cooking. And let's go, I'm going to go rice. And I'm going to go into, because if I search this, I've got all sorts of rice, okay? And the dishes with rice in them. But actually what I want is to find the rice cooker mode recipes. So here we go. If we do that, we can go into rice cooking. Okay, so I would find, doesn't matter, we'll go into this one. We've got long grain rice, basmati rice, brown rice, white rice, millets, and bulgur wheats. If we have a look at this one, we've got very similar ones. I think the other one actually has different, one of them has different weights. Anyway, they're all pretty much the same. So it doesn't really matter which one you go into. You will find various rice recipes. So you've got your brown rice covered, your white rice covered. You've even got millet and bulgur wheat covered as well. So that's for your rice cooking. If you want to, let's have a look at another mode. Thickening with TM6. How about that? Oh, there we go. Thickening with TM6. Sauces, custards, and curds. These are probably pretty much the same. We'll go into one of them. Just going to see what. Oh, let's click on one. That's got 24 recipes. That's pretty good. And that has different amounts of volumes. Click in here. I just want to see. Okay, I think this might be. This is an Australian and New Zealand recipe collection. So we've got sauces, the hollandaise, we've got a mushroom sauce, red capsicum and paprika hollandaise, béarnaise sauces, bechamel sauce, creme patisserie, dairy-free chocolate coconut custard, creme anglaise, baglioni, and then the curds. So if you haven't tried curd in your Thermomix, it's really well worth doing. So that's your thicken mode as well. But as you could hear, we're done. So I'm just going to move back over here. You wonder what that ugly brown box is. It's full of jars for all the things that I create in my Thermomix. All right. So next. Okay. I was going to practice in advance, but I didn't, just in case you needed to see. So it's asking me to put the simmering basket onto the lid. All right. Then I'm going to weigh 300 grams of rice in. Now, I had to do a little check to see if I needed to buy more rice today, and this is pretty much 300 grams. So I'm just going to tip that in. It might be a tad over or a tad under. But that will be fine. And then it's asking me to rinse the rice until the water runs clear. So I'm just going to do that under the tap. Okay, and the reason you rinse the rice is because it makes it sure it doesn't stick together. So it's asking me now to add 550 grams of cold water. Oh, I'll just show you what it looks like in here actually. So remember here we've got this, we've got the spices, we've got the onion, the chicken, the garlic, the tomato, and the ginger. All right, 550 grams of water. That'll do. All right. And then we put the rice in on top. So it's going to cook it like a little bit like a risotto, I guess. So the rice goes in. Let's just stick that in here. All right. Oh, there's a little bit left here, just at the side. Okay. That is done. Add the rinsed rice. Stir with a spatula. And then it says, through the hole in the mixing bowl lid, add 1 cinnamon quill and 10 green cardamom pods, which have been crushed. Done that. Then it wants us to allow for a little bit of evaporation. And it's going to cook using the rice cooker mode. I'm just going to bring it forwards a bit. So I have mine sitting on the glider board. I'm just going to put my hand underneath, tip it up a bit and bring it away. I just want to bring it away from the cupboard I've got above so it doesn't steam up the cupboard. And then I'm just going to turn and it's going to tell us 29 minutes of cooking, which I'm sure you don't want to watch. So what I'm going to do now is just quickly show you the garnish I've got for it when it's finished. And when I have finished it, I'll be posting this up on YouTube and I'll post a picture of the finished dish on it. So I'm going to garnish with, I've got my hard-boiled egg, which I've cut up. I've got some chili and I've got some lime. It also suggests a bit of Greek yogurt or yogurt, so I'm going to use that. And I'm actually going to pop it into the oval thermoserver. All right, so the oval thermoserver is a host reward and it looks really impressive. So that's going to be my dinner. And I hope you guys give it a go at some point in time and let me know what you think of it. But I will post this up on YouTube with the photo. And if you've got any questions, please ask. Thanks so much. And I hope you learned something from it. Bye.